जय जय श्री राधा गोपीनाथ की जय, श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय, हिताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि। Please repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudirayet Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. So if we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, the status quo, Chapter 33, the last chapter of this canto, Activities of Kapila Dev, text number 22. Repeat after me. Tameva, Tameva, Dhyayati, Dhyayati, Devam, Devam, Apyatyam, Apatyam, Kapilam, Kapilam, Harim, Harim, Babhuvachirato, Babhuvachirato, Vatsa, Vatsa, Nihaspriha, Nihaspriha, Tadreshe, Tadreshe, Grihe, Grihe, Tameva Dhyayati Devam, Apatyam Kapilam Harim, Babhuvachirato Vatsa, Nihasprisha Tadrishe Grihe. Tameva Dhyayati Devam, Apatyam Kapilam Harim, Babhuvachirato Vatsa, Nihasprisha Tadrishe Grihe. Prabhuji. Babhuvachirato Vatsa, Nihasprisha Tadrishe Grihe. Tameva Dhyayati Devam, Apatyam Kapilam Harim, Babhuvachirato Vatsa, Nihasprisha Tadrishe Grihe. Translation. O Vidura, please repeat after me. O Vidura, thus always, meditating upon her son, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Kapila Dev, she very soon became unattached to her nicely decorated home. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Here is a practical example of how one can elevate oneself in spiritual advancement by Krishna consciousness. Kapila Dev is Krishna, and he appeared as the son of Devahuti. After Kapila Dev left home, Devahuti was absorbed in thought of him, and thus she was always Krishna conscious. Her constant situation in Krishna conscious enabled her to be detached from the hearth and home. Unless we are able to transfer our attachment to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, there is no possibility of becoming freed from material attachment. The Srimad Bhagavatam therefore confirms that it is not possible for one to become liberated by cultivation of empirical philosophical speculation. Simply knowing that one is not matter but spirit soul or Brahman does not purify one's intelligence. Even if the impersonalist reaches the highest platform of spiritual realization, he falls down again to material attachment because of not being situated in the transcendental loving service of the Supreme Lord. The devotees adopt the devotional process, hearing about the Supreme Lord's pastime and glorifying his activities, and thereby always remembering his beautiful eternal form. By rendering service, becoming his friend or his servant, and offering him everything that one possesses, one is able to enter into the kingdom of God. As it is said in Bhagavad Gita, Tato Mam Tattvato Gyatva. After discharging pure devotional service, one can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead in fact. And thus, one becomes eligible to enter into his association in one of the spiritual planets. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Please recite this Mangala Share with me. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Rama eva kevalam Kalo nastyeva gatiranyatha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vacharam pangum lankarite girim yat kripatamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Ramadatamadabam Shri Chaitanya. Thank you everyone for coming on Saturday morning to Hare Krishna Temple at North Sydney. Thank you. I seek blessing and from you all, from the Acharyas and the Vaishnavas present here. May the right word come out of my mouth for the pleasure of Radha Gopinath and the devotees here. I also want to acknowledge the custodians, traditional custodians of this land, the Gadigal people and the Kamrigal tribes. Hare Krishna. So as we just read the translation, I'll read it again. O Vidura, thus always meditating upon her son, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Kapiladev, she very soon became unattached to her nicely decorated home. So in this text, it's mostly emphasizing on attachment and detachment. Living in a beautiful house, how Mother Devahuti was detached by attaching herself to her son. And her son is none other less Sri Krishna himself, Kapiladev Muni. So Srila Prabhupada in the purport has touched based on few elements of this attachment and detachment, and how we cultivate this attachment, and how we step by step gradually progress towards the bhakti by devotional services. So the last para Srila Prabhupada is actually touched based on the 9 process of bhakti. So the bhakti is devotional service where you start with Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, and last is Atmanivedanam. So each and every process of devotional service can be understood by an example. When we see examples in our life, when we see someone else is doing the thing and he or she has achieved a desired result, we also feel inclined to it. We also get charged up for that. So Shravanam, as we all know, Bhagavatam is actually a conversation between Sukadev Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj. So Parikshit Maharaj is actually asking questions and Sukadev Goswami is delivering the answers in a different stories. That is Srimad Bhagavatam. How we can love God, how others have loved God, the same way we can follow, we will also attain the same desired success. So Parikshit Maharaj shows us the epitome of Shravanam, how to hear very diligently and how to hear without any breaks. So the story goes like this. When Parikshit Maharaj, during those times, to help the citizens, went out for hunting, akhet in Hindi we say. And in that hunting, the whole day he couldn't find the particular animal for which he was actually there. So he was obviously thirsty, there was no water, he was hungry, and he was frustrated because the whole thing for him going out for hunting is not achieved. So he's tired, he's very fatigued, he reaches ashram. And in that ashram, he sees the Rishi Muni sitting in a meditative posture and he's meditating. So he stands there, then he starts thinking that, come on, I'm a king and he's not even paying respect to me and I'm thirsty, he's not even asking me for water. The first thing of our culture is to ask water to a guest. If a guest comes untimely without being told, the first thing at least we can do is asking water. Do you want water? That's the first thing we ask. I've given water here. So he was not being respected by asking anything. Rather, the Munivar was totally absorbed into his meditation. So he gets frustrated. Parikshit Maharaj gets frustrated, and Parikshit Maharaj puts a dead snake on this Rishivar's neck as a part of his frustration. We need to understand here, Parikshit Maharaj was frustrated because he was thirsty, he was hungry, and he was fatigued of all this running around. And he did that action. Because of that action, he got cursed. The story goes long, his son gets to know, but his son gets to know in a wrong way, in a wrong notion. And he cursed the great king. When this great king comes to know that within 7 days he has to die, complete change of his consciousness. Where was he thirsty? Where was he, hungry or fatigued? He left his kingdom then and there, but he just didn't left. He made sure that the next of heir gets the right authority and the passing on goes fluently. So he gives the right department to the right person and he leaves. When he goes to Sukadev Goswami and Sukadev Goswami starts telling him the stories of Bhagavatam, 7 days he constantly listens without any break. He was not hungry, he was not thirsty. So in the previous incident, he was thirsty, he was hungry, and he made that action. And now, this is where we need to learn hearing. Hearing should be without any disturbance. And that disturbance cannot always come from outside and physical. That disturbance is within us. The mind is so flickering, the mind is so chanchala. It is so restless. Even if we are sitting here very nicely, looks like very calm and quiet, but the mind is not here, the mind is somewhere else. Parikshit Maharaj has shown from his example how we should be hearing. Then the second one is Kirtanam. In the same example, Parikshit Maharaj and Sukadev Goswami, how Sukadev Goswami had actually recited about Krishna, had recited about how Krishna's devotees were. So in the same story, we have got two prime examples of Shravanam and Kirtanam. Then comes the Vishnu Smaranam. You know, that 5-year-old Prahlad Maharaj. So Prahlad Maharaj, from his mother's tummy, how he cultivated God consciousness, Krishna consciousness, and how he constantly remembered Vishnu Smaran. From him comes Vishnu Smaranam. Constantly remembering of Lord in each and every part and stage of his life. When he was studying, when he was playing, he was always thinking of Vishnu. Then is Padasevanam. In the Garbhodakshai Vishnu, we see how Mother Lakshmi is actually doing service to Vishnu. Padasevanam. Archanam. Prithu Maharaj. How Prithu Maharaj has constantly, fully, Archana means Archa Vigraha, where you have a Vigraha, which is deities, and you are doing the seva as per the rules of Pancharatrika, and you can continue doing it without any deviation. That is Archanam. With full body and mind, obviously. Then is Vandanam. In Mahabharat, not in the war, but in the Mahabharat story, how Akrura, who was one of the servants of Kamsa dynasty, and how he was constantly into the motive of praising the Lord. Whenever he was given a task to go and call Krishna and Balaram. Even in that small task, how was he constantly in a service of engaging himself in glorifying the Lord? That is Vandanam. Dasyam, from Hanuman we learn how even if we get so much of opulence, we still have that tinge of Dasyam. We constantly think that we are nothing but Lord's servant. But here we should think we are servants of servants of servants of servant. So Dasanudas. Through Arjuna we see the Sakyam, the relationship between Lord and Arjuna as friend. So even if they are friends in the war, how was Arjuna, what was Arjuna's role and what was Krishna's role? So who was Krishna in the war? He was a chariot driver. And in the chariot, how the chariot is made and the warrior was standing, if he has to tell that I want to go left, I want to go right, I want to stop, or I want to go ahead, he can't just communicate through words. He has to do some sign language. And what are those sign languages? Kicking by feet. So Krishna is being kicked by Arjuna to tell him where to go, where not to go. That's a part of the war. That's a part of the chariot and the warrior standing. They are friends. But on the same hand, whenever Krishna tells him anything to do, without any second thought, he just believes him because he knows he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. From this relationship we should learn how we should take even friendship with the Lord. Then the last is Atma Nivedanam, where Bali Maharaj, we have seen in the Dashavatar, the sixth avatar, right? Yeah, sixth, fifth, Bali. Bali Maharaj is, for Bali Maharaj, Vishnu came as Vamandev. And as Vamandev, how he has taken everything from Bali Maharaj. And even after taking everything from Bali Maharaj says there's still something left. It's my head. You can take the last step by putting your feet on my head. And how he got liberated, he was given the whole, the Patala Lok for him to rule. And Lord was especially merciful to him. Lord stayed with him. So through these different examples, we learn how we can practice this 9 process of devotional service. In the purport on the last para, I'll read it again. The devotees adopt the devotional process, hearing about Supreme Lord's pastime and glorifying His activities, and thereby always remembering His beautiful eternal form. By rendering service, becoming His friend and His servant, and offering Him everything that one possesses, one is able to enter into the kingdom of God. So, the 9 process of devotional service is what has been covered in this last para. Now the part where this shloka is more attractive to me is the word attachment, which the Sanskrit is nispriha, unattached. So, attachment can be the most powerful fear for us. If we get attached to anything, whether it's a material thing or it's a relationship, so there are 2 kinds of attachment. One is sthula. Sthula means gross, and the other one is sthula. The other one is sukshma. Sukshma means subtle. So sukshma's exact English is micro, something which cannot be seen through our material eyes. So sthula, which is we can see, we are getting attached with our car, with our house, with our family, and sukshma, which is not seen, which is felt, like praising. I'm giving class, somebody will praise me, I get attached to it. Fame. You do more and more things for others, do more donations for what? You're getting famed. Then profit. Okay, I'll do something, I'll take the class today and I have something behind, a motive. So there's a motive behind a devotional service also. So there can be, we can see we are doing devotional service, but sometimes in our subconscious mind, which we are also not aware of it, we have certain kind of motives. And that degrades us and that pulls us down from bhakti. That pulls us down from actually that devotional service what we are doing. So, puja, labh, pratishtha are the sukshma attachments which are negligible but which are very detrimental to our process. The attachment which we cultivate during our lifetime, at the time of death, it comes in front of our eyes as a fraction of a second, the whole life story. So when we attach to someone, definitely at the time of our death it will come in front of our eyes. There are examples in Bhagavatam how attachment can be detrimental, how attachment has negatively affected sadhak in his process of bhakti. Example of Bharat Maharaj. In Bhagavatam it says how Bharat Maharaj was so powerful in detachment that when he achieved a level of settling his kingdom, he left his kingdom. He left his beautiful wife, he left his able son, and he went to the forest for finishing off his bhakti. But when he went to the forest, he got attached to a baby deer. We all know the story. And through this story, what people in general, even in our temple congregation, we talk about is we should not have pets. Now, it depends on how you're putting Shastras into your daily life. There can be different situations where individual is forced to keep a pet. There can be different situations where an individual has to keep a pet. Now, if we see Bharat Maharaj getting attached to deer, it can be implemented in our life as well. We may be attached to our children because Bharat Maharaj took that deer, baby deer, as his own son. He took care of that baby deer as his own son. We also do the same. We also take care of our children, and then we get attached to our children. The point which I'm trying to make here is when we talk about pets, when we talk about having pets in our home, we often get this example that, because Bharat Maharaj, we learn from Bharat Maharaj's story that we shouldn't have pets. I know pets are considered as mlechas, they are the abominable species. But as I said, there are different conditions through which we have to have pets, and in that way, would you just boycott that devotee? Would you just not go to that devotee's place because that devotee has a pet? From Bharat Maharaj's story, what we understand is attachment. Nothing to do with pets, nothing to do with deer, nothing to do with any animal. For that sake, even each one of us have some kind of attachment towards their family members. The most gross part is children. We get attached to our children so much. It is by default, it's very common in everyone. So why are we only talking about pets, and why are we only talking about Bharat Maharaj to have attached with a deer? What the point Bhagavatam is making here is, look, he was detached. Look, he left his family. Look, he left his capable son. But attachment can come in any form, any shape, any jiva. Or for that sake, forget about jiva, any material also. My house, I made my house with such a pain. I've given so much of money in it. My blood and sweat has been behind this house. How can I leave this house? So, some part of different explanation in Srila Prabhupada's purpose, Srila Prabhupada has also mentioned that, if you're so much attached to your own house, what will happen after death? You will come as a cockroach, or a spider, or an ant, because you're attached, right? Come back. So it's the attachment, it's the element of attachment which Bharat Maharaj's story is telling us. It is not telling us, and it is nowhere telling us about any part of having a pet or having a children for that sake. So it depends on how our consciousness is and what we take it. Because I have seen in our congregation people get so strong having not to have pets. That's not the whole purpose of Bharat Maharaj's story here. Then we see Chitraketu Maharaj. Chitraketu Maharaj had 100 wives, but no son. And he was lamenting that he doesn't have any son. He has got 100 wives, but no son. So he does an austerity and he gets some prasad, and as a result, he gets a son. But then again, when he gets the son, he was being told that this son would be your cause of happiness and distress both. That's why his name was Harshashoka. Because as soon as he was born, he was killed. All the other 99 wives thought, now this wife, from this wife you've got a son, now she will be the Rajmata. Let's do something and let's kill the son. See, the power of attachment can let you do to what extent. None of them have thought, only one child is born out of all 100 of us, and we are killing them. Attachment of fame. Attachment of pratishtha. They will be losing their pratishtha and fame. So what did they do? They have done the most abominable job by killing a small baby infant. Attachment. I'm feeling this attachment, but Bhagavatam has told Chitraketu's attachment towards his son. That after when his son died, he was so much in pain that he forgot about his kingdom. He forgot about his duty as a king, as a husband. Attachment. Another form of attachment here we also see in our own self. We sometimes we do things having a motive behind it, which we also don't know. Subconsciously, we just carry, unless and until someone tells us, and we take that person's word as an advice. We often don't take it as an advice because we just think that we are right. We are learning Bhagavatam, we are learning Bhagavad Gita, we know everything. And that's where we close the door of learning, that's where we close the door of growing. Today is Ekadashi, and it's a pious thing to do, to come to temple, to listen to Bhagavatam. I'm lucky enough to sit on this side of Bhagavad Katha. Otherwise, I would be on the other side as today is Ekadashi. So on Ekadashi day, it is one of the 10 items of 64 items of devotional service. So 64 items are like one which we all chant in the morning after Mangalarti, the 10 offenses, things like that. So maintaining and following Ekadashi is also one of the main 64 items of bhakti. And in this, I think this illustration here on the whiteboard is about Ekadashi, isn't it? Killing of Mura demon. So Vishnu is lying, and through Vishnu, there's another personality comes up, which is actually Ekadashi, Mother Ekadashi, and she is slaying Mura demon. The demon with whom Sri Krishna fought for more than 1,000 celestial years, and just as a pastime, Krishna was tired, and when he was tired, he wanted to have a nap, so he went to a cave which was 9 miles or 900 miles, something very big, long, and this Mura demon, by following him, he actually comes to kill. And through the Lord's body, one effulgent jiva comes out, and it was a lady who kills Mura demon. When he sees Mura approaching this sleeping Lord, she gets angry, and in one shot, just like how the illustration is, the picture is, in one slot, she just takes the head out of the demon's body. So this is how the Ekadashi has come into being, and it was so dear to the Lord that whoever follows it with full heart gets the benediction of going back to Lord's abode. So as per Rupa Goswami, Ekadashi, or for any fasting, Upavas, which we say, Upavas is to sit next to the Lord, go close to the Lord. But in ISKCON, we have a very common say that fasting in Ekadashi is actually feasting your ego. So where does this word comes? The word comes is when we do any austerity. So following Ekadashi is also one of the austerity. You're not doing the regular chores of your life. You're doing something different. Basically, you are cutting off all the grains, beans. Definitely you're vegetarian, but on top of it, cutting off grains and beans, living only on fruits, nuts, milk products is kind of an austerity. So when we do that austerity, we get puffed up. The sukshma attachment, the puffing up, that, oh, I have done Ekadashi. Oh, I haven't eaten anything, I haven't drank. So good on me. You puffed up, and the next day you will see your chanting has gone down because you have puffed up. You've got you've got pride in you because you have done something. So even doing an austerity can be detrimental to your bhakti. So consciousness, keeping a constant check on your consciousness is very, very important. We can deviate from our goal anytime, any fraction of seconds. That's why 9 processes always thinking of Vishnu Smaranam, always thinking of Lord at all time. It is not possible. But if we constantly check ourselves, then we can be able to do at least a little bit. But again, when we practice and we fall down, we get up. We practice, we fall down, we get up. It's a constant process. We just don't lose our heart because we have fallen down, because we have done something wrong. It's a constant check for us for the sukshma attachments, which is puja, la, pratishtha, which is constantly bombarding our mind. Constantly. You get up early in the morning one day, the next day you feel, I got up early in the morning. Next day you won't be able to get up because you got that pride in you. I got up early in the morning. People who do something apart from their regular life, like fasting, getting up early in the morning, or coming to Mangalarti, or doing some kind of devotional service which they haven't done and they have done it for the first time. The first thing is the pride which kicks you in. And how you can keep it away? By always keeping yourself humbler. And it is hard. I know it's easy to say humble, but it's hard to practice. When you get some praise, it's better that you give it to your guru. It's better you give it to Srila Prabhupada. You get some praises, yeah, it's because of Srila Prabhupada. You get some praises, yeah, it's because of Gurudev. When we pass it on, it is a better action than saying, I haven't done anything. I'm not great, you are great. Okay, when someone is praising you, please take it, because that person is praising you. It takes a lot for the person to praise someone. So it's an austerity for the person as well. And when you're taking it, obviously you are respecting that person, you're taking that praise, but give it to the Guru. Give it to them, because through them that energy is coming, that desire, that potency of delivering what Srila Prabhupada has said. Otherwise it's hard. There are so many people in this world, especially in India, I must say every corner of India, we have got Bhagavad Katha reciters. They have got thousands and thousands of rupees, fixed price. For 7 days, I will do this much I will take. It's good. It's nice. They are reciting Bhagavatam. But what Srila Prabhupada has said, the hierarchy, not the hierarchy, but the disciplic succession which has come through. The person who sings, who glorifies Bhagavatam has to be blessed by his Guru. There has to be a chain going up. Where is the words coming from? The word is like nectar. We are giving nectar and we are taking nectar. So nectar does not always has to be from our mouth. It can be from our nose when we smell the offered flower, when we hear the Krishna Katha and Bhagavatam, and when we speak about Bhagavatam. So attachment can be of any form. When we do good also, too much good is also sometimes detrimental. So we have to be always careful where we are leading to. Whether it's the negative, fall down, or whether it's the going up. As soon as someone gets initiation, the first thing which kicks in is the pride. It's like a pot in your garden which has got a creeper going up. So it's bhakti lata. So the Guru gives you the beej, the seed of that bhakti, and you cultivate that seed through humbleness, through your surrender towards Guru and Krishna. That is the water to the plant, and the water grows. But you see, in the pot, apart from the main plant, there are so many other creepers or unwanted grass or something. That is our anarthas. That is our anarthas which are coming in a shape of pride, jealousy, anger, hankering for fame, hankering for praising. So all this is obviously a very fearful thing to hear. But mind you, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has said that even if you do diligently your devotional service, and you fall down, what will happen? 2.40 or 44. 40. Neha vikramanaşosti pratyavayo na vidyate swalpam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. So, even if you do something wrong or good in devotional service, trying to please your Guru and Krishna, and you go nowhere, at least be assured Krishna is going to take care of you. See, like in this life, whatever bank balance, children, house, car I have, I won't be carrying the next life. Definitely not. As soon as I die, all my will, all my attachments, all my children, everything goes the end with this life, this body. But the soul, when leaves this body, goes to the other body, carries these sukshma things within. What are these sukshma things? The practice, what we the devotional services, what we practiced, what we did in our past life. That's why you must have heard stories like a small child, 5 years old, he is reciting the entire Bhagavatam. He's reciting the entire Bhagavad Gita. 5 years old. When did the child learn? From his past life. So, past life, so what Lord is saying, whatever you do, don't think of the ultimate goal. Obviously, that is your main goal. You will go towards it. But if you are not able to do it in this life, don't worry. You will get the chance to complete it in your next life. If you desire so. So, I just don't want to give a scary part of this text. I also want to say that obviously we try our level best. Obviously we have to be careful of what we think, how we do a service, because he is Bhavagrahit Janardhan. He doesn't think physically how many of you are there. He also thinks who are listening from Mayapur TV, Facebook, and how people are taking the words which are coming out from the speaker sitting here. He sees what's going on inside our heart. He obviously sees outside also, we all see that. But he is the only one, Bhavagrahit Janardhan, he sees the bhav of the person who is delivering the service. So for him, nothing is hidden. He knows everything. So we have to be careful that inside what's going on. Outside definitely we are careful. Someone is watching us. What will she say? What will he say? But also, please cleanse your inside by thinking, constantly checking. You know how we check when we surrender to a Guru, Sadhu, Shastra? The same way, we need to check ourselves also all the time. Sitting on any position in your company or in temple or in your society, constantly we have to check this. This 3 modes of material nature is constantly bombarding us. Even for the sake, mode of goodness is detrimental. I would just like to end here that even if I've said so many scary things, there are still chances for us to keep continuing. What Srila Prabhupada says is, keep doing it until you get it. Practice makes a person perfect. So we are all practicing devotees. Some one of us has gone a way, way higher level, but they are also practicing. They are practicing to cultivate Krishna consciousness within themselves, because people outside know they are, but we all are struggling. So I would like to end here, and it's an open floor for you all to share your feelings and correct me if I've gone somewhere wrong. Yes, Prabhuji. Ravi Prabhu. Okay. Yes, please, Prabhu. Yeah. Yeah. Prabhu, I think you should have taken this mic because it was hard for me to even hear. And since this is getting recorded, would you mind? So Prabhu is saying about the pastime of how Lord Brahma was being told by Sri Krishna after when Lord Brahma has completed the tapasya, austerity, and then glorifying the Lord, that Prabhu is actually basically making the point that I made on fasting on Ekadashi is actually feasting your ego. So this particular pastime which Prabhu has shared will actually keep us grounded, thinking that when Krishna said this to Brahma, what are we? So what Krishna said? Krishna said that I'm very happy with your austerity and your glorification, but remember, this is all coming through me. So if Lord Brahma has been checked on it, we need to check ourselves too. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, the first para. So, Prabhu, hurt, if you see hurt as a meaning, hurt means a wooden, whether it's fireplace or balcony or place where your house is on, like a base. Hearth. So you can put hearth in many ways. So home, obviously home made of brick, marble and all. Home and hearth is part and parcel. Am I correct, bro? Would you like to add something on it? So hearth is what I understood is the meaning, actually basic meaning is hearth is the base of the house and the house. Sometimes a house goes fallen off, right? 100 years old, house is gone. But what's the hearth? It's the place where the house is. That's why you will see stories where even after departure, the soul is still around that house. You've heard that? People do say those things, yeah? The person has gone, the person has left this mortal world, he's died, but still his soul is going around. So I think this is what it means, that all together. It's not just the home, but anything which is connected to the home. Correct. Yes, the second one. They are Dasha avatars. So, Dasha is the 10 prime avatars of Sri Vishnu, and we all know Sri Vishnu is the. What did you say, Prabhu? Portion, yeah, the portion, portion of Krishna. So it's not a direct avatar, it's the indirect. Am I correct? Kapila Deva is. He is. Yeah, he is not an incarnation of Vishnu, he is Krishna himself. That's what Srila Prabhupada is saying here. Kapila Dev is Krishna. Okay. Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Nitai Gaur Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Gurudeva ki jai.